Terry Cadiente is one of America's premier stunt women. She's worked as a stunt double for actresses Pamela Anderson, Linda Hamilton, and Jessica Simpson. She's appeared in blockbusters like Evan Almighty, Titanic, and Waterworld. She's even crossed over into television, working on the hit television series 24. And for that work, she won the 2008 Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Stunt Ensemble.
I love being a stunt woman in Hollywood. I really, really do. I've been falling down all my life. I just found a way to get paid for it.
I recently met Terry, and in just a few minutes, she and her Emmy-nominated stunt coordinator husband, Jeff, taught me how to be a stunt driver, making a dangerous 90-degree turn. Check it out.
Two of the most important things, okay? First is the tire pressure.
Okay, so these tires are ready to go?
They're ready. Here's how we set up the e-brake.
But you can still have control to steer, but yet you're fishtailing.
Ready? Terry, tell me, how did you become a stunt woman?
Oh my gosh, if I told you I fell into it, would you laugh? Literally, I fell into it. I used to race jet skis. In 1994, we were training for the World Finals, and that's, if you remember, that is also when Waterworld was being filmed. So the film world began noticing jet skis, if you will. My actual first job, I was invited to be a double for Linda Hamilton. Then my second job was Titanic, and my ship came in, so that was, ever since then, it's just been so much fun.
So you were actually one of the people that fell off of the boat when it started to go down?
Over and over again, yeah.
What's been your most dangerous stunt?
But there was one time where I had a car hit the ramp in front of me and then make that jump, and then I was second on the ramp. And sometimes what can happen is that that first car will hit the ramp and then the ramp will split. So and I was coming down this hill, so I had to be really, really aware of what was going on in this ramp. Oh, but it was fine, everything was great. But
You're a pretty tough chick.
you have to be.
So what do you do on 24?
We crash cars and help Jack Bauer save the world. I mean, what else is there to 24? But that's a real treat to be able to work next to someone like Kiefer. He's just such a master of his craft.
With all of the accolades and awards Terry garnered from the stunt world, there was a time in her life that wasn't so exciting.
I grew up with a father who was an alcoholic, and there was abuse within the home. The first time I saw my own blood, something very deep happened.
As Terry grew into her teens, she began to redefine herself through the abuse. After high school, Terry started partying and using cocaine to cover up her brokenness.
It took me to a place where it didn't hurt. I hadn't felt that happy in so long because there was such that heavy sadness.
Terry's drug use led her to get involved with the guy who sold drugs. Then one day, as she and her boyfriend were leaving a party, they got in an argument that almost led to her death.
He grabbed as much hair as he could and took my head and thrust it towards the windshield. You know, I'm trying to push back, but he slammed on the brakes at the same time. My head slammed into that windshield. As he pulled me from the car and then, threw me into where I landed. And I remember that is when I called out and I said, God, if you're who you say you are, please help me.
After Terry was released from the hospital, she went to church that following Sunday.
I accepted the Lord in my heart, and I believed that was true because I just had this experience. And when you are living such a dark lifestyle and you do experience the Lord's grace and peace for the first time, it is different. Something changes. And I think that is so amazing about how God is. He comes and meets us where we are. We don't have to go after anything. And it isn't a high. It's a fullness, it's a completeness, it's a settling in your spirit. There's a warmth in your soul that I hadn't had before.
Terry made the decision to follow God, and she was totally delivered from an 8-year addiction to drugs.
The relationship I first thought of, God is so far away, and how could he have time for me, to the relationship that I understand now is that he is very interested in me, and he's invested a lot in every one of us, and that was the amazing part.
Terry doesn't compromise her role as wife or mother. Nor does she compromise her Christian faith in Hollywood as a stunt woman.
To be a Christian in Hollywood, the cool part of it is there is no compromise. Because I kneel and bow to the Father, I don't have to kneel and bow to man in the sense of I just know who I am. It's really important that you know who you are when you step into Hollywood, or there's a cookie cutter that comes on you and it will shape you.
Terry talks about her life story and gives a challenge to others in her book, Live Courageously. And she knows firsthand that Jesus is where her courage comes from.
He is the answer, and a personal relationship with him will change everything. It always does.